And we're good? Hi, everybody. My name is Johnny West. And today we're going to talk about something interesting and crazy. We are going to talk about how I close 5K clients on Zoom. Now, if you find discovery calls scary or hard, do not worry. We're going to make it simple. If you know how to have a conversation with people, then you can have a 5K discovery call. You absolutely can. And especially if you find yourself undervaluing yourself and underpricing yourself, bending over backwards to please other people and to please clients, this will be a really useful lesson in how to get what you want without being pushy, without being salesy. I think that more than anything, it's so important that people realize our value, and that really starts with us realizing our own value. And so, if you don't know who I am, okay, I'm not Johnny West, the heist up. I'm Paloma Lev, the leader of Sell Anything with Badass Confidence. And if you're not yet in our group, what the fuck? Join us. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about, if you find that on your discovery calls, people say to you often, and something that people hear a lot is, let me think about it, let me ask my spouse, and then they just don't ever come back around. It's not a coincidence. There are things that you can do to make your life easier. If you are an agency owner, if you are selling anything over the phone, selling anything in person, selling anything, all of these principles apply. So I have prepared for you, OMG, is it okay if I over deliver? I have prepared for you 13 things that I see wrong with people's discovery calls, because I coach people on how to kick butt on their discovery calls. 13 things that people are doing wrong and what you can do about them, okay? So that really, it shouldn't be that hard. It's not that hard. If you're not on the phone with the right people, it's hard. If you're not aligned with yourself, it's hard, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So the first mistake that I see people making on their discovery calls is they don't step up as a leader. Okay, first of all, they don't have a plan for their discovery calls. They just show up and just expect that somehow they're going to improv their way to a deal. We do want to have a balance between a script and improv. So you should know the basic marks that you want to hit. But, you can go either way, and both ways would be a mistake. I've seen someone, actually, it was kind of funny. This woman who was interested in my services, she was like, let me show you my pitch. Let me show you my thing. I was like, okay, go for it. And she asked me question after question that didn't really leave any space for literally talking to me like a human. So nobody likes to be spoken to if I could do this for you, how would you feel about this? Okay. And then they don't even hear your answer, and they move on to their next pre-scripted question. And it makes you feel like they're not talking to you. They're literally a chat bot in real life, right? And it made me feel like what I said doesn't matter, because she already has her next move, and her objective is clear, and it leaves me behind. So you don't want to be so scripted that the other person feels like, is this actually about me, or is this about you getting your questions in? But on the other side, a lot of people think, well, I'm good at sales, I'm pretty persuasive, I don't need to plan anything. That would be the wrong approach as well, because it is your goal to get them from point A to point B, from, realizing what the problem is, right? We begin with helping them reach a point of clarity, and then agitating it, and then talking about how painful is this. If it's not that painful, then they are not that motivated to solve it. Then they are more likely to say, let me think about it. People need help with the decision-making process. When you are on a discovery call with them, they are in the process of figuring out how to help themselves, and they don't know the right answer. You need to understand the emotional state that they come to you in. They come to you confused. They come to you overwhelmed. They come to you exhausted. They come to you thinking, well, is this worth my money? Is this worth my investment? Will I get something out of this, right? And understanding your prospects' fears is so crucial. One important fear that we need to understand in our prospects is we are selling a thinly veiled version of ourselves. We're selling a promise. There's this wonderful book, Selling the Invisible, and if you haven't read it, go grab it. And essentially what it talks about is when you're selling a product, when you're selling a physical product, let's say you're selling a cup, okay? You can see it, you can feel it, you can read reviews of it. When you're selling a service like coaching services or that you're going to do Facebook ads for a company, etc., you're really selling a promise. And when you're selling a promise that I will do this, right? Once they give over their money, they feel kind of powerless, right? And I know that we've all made a purchase before where we felt kind of stupid or like, why the hell did I spend my money on that? That was a waste of my money. And so we're actually dealing with people's past baggage, right? Like their relationship baggage, right? Of the times that they felt stupid that they spent money, of the times where they did spend money, they were motivated to do it, and they didn't end up getting results, and they ended up feeling like a failure. More than anything, I mean, I started out by teaching negotiation skills. And one of the most important negotiation paradigm shifts that you need to know is you need to understand that all negotiation is emotion and ego management, okay? And so when you're talking to people about, you know, what is your pain, right? That is so emotional and that is so almost embarrassing, right? You need to start from a place of understanding that pain to them is like, they don't want to add to that pain by investing in something only to realize, hey, other people could do it, but I couldn't, right? Like that's the worst thing where you're like, oh, well, those people did that exercise program, but that's because they're motivated and I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I can do it. When I'm on a discovery call, if someone ends up saying no or passing on an offer, they're not saying no to me. They are not saying no to me. And guys, if you can't depersonalize the selling process, you will be in pain again and again and again. When someone says no, they are not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves a lot of the time. They are saying, no, I don't believe it's possible for me. No, I don't invest in myself. No, I'm too scared. No, I don't like making decisions. And what we have to understand about humans is the decision-making process is scary. And so we are what I call the CLOP, confident leader of process. When we can step into the role of the confident leader, that we lead this discussion. Yes, we're empathetic. Yes, we're flexible. Yes, we allow ourselves to improvise as well within our goals, our set points we want to hit, right? We need to understand that it is our responsibility. They're coming to us scared. And we say, hello, I see you. I understand why you're going through that. I appreciate you opening up to me. I've been there. I've done that. I know it's painful. And then you need to make a kind of contrast. Once you've taken the time to diagnose, a lot of the time people want to skip to the point of prognosis, right? Can you imagine you go to the doctor and you are having pain in your neck, okay? And right away, the doctor says, so what's the problem? And you're like, well, I'm feeling that. And they're like, hey, take this pill, right? Take this pill. Oh, wow. Look, we just have that on our table. Take this pill and you'll feel better, right? You're like, what the hell? You didn't listen to me. You don't know how I feel. We will allow people to solve our problems if we are convinced that they understand us, that they understand what we've been through, and that we are like them. People allow themselves to be influenced by two kinds of people who are like them and people that they would like to be like, right? And so one of your we have many persuasive goals in a discovery call, but one of your most important persuasive goals is saying, I'm like you, we are similar. Because, you know, for example, so I'm in this amazing house with a lot of brilliant entrepreneur friends, my friend Johnny, my friend Lewis, all these awesome people, right? It can be very intimidating and scary to learn from people if you feel that you're so different from them, if you feel that they're on like a completely different level, right? So one of the first things you want to do is humanize yourself so that you can lead this process. Just remember, friends, it is your responsibility. You are a leader even before they have purchased. A lot of people want to wait and reserve their leadership for like, pay me first, okay? You are a leader as soon as they're talking to you. Every interaction with you, you are their leader, okay? Which means that if you haven't yet explored Jay Abraham's work, his theory of preemptivity, explore his work. And you know, the funny thing is his premise is very simple. You need to have the best interests of that person in mind, even if that means that you are sacrificing your own self-interest, okay? What does this mean? Let's put an example to this, okay? Let's say you come into, I have a guitar store, okay? and you come in and you look at the most expensive guitar, and I know that you don't actually need that one because you told me what you needed. You needed it for these kinds of concerts and whatever. Who knows guitar stuff? Let's say that, right? And I let you buy the thing that you don't need because there's a simpler, cheaper version, then I am really not being the loving, caring leader. I am simply looking out for my self-interest, okay? More than anything, in this crazy world where we have everyone who's making these huge promises, we are dying to know, who can I trust? Who will lead me in my process? Who is not gonna screw me over? Who is gonna be consistently there for me, right? And so even the discovery call process is part of the trust building process, right? You know, they came to you because they like you and trust you, but trust is the kind of thing that you can spend 20 years building and in 1 second violate that trust and it's over. But your relationship with that person is premised on your trust, the trust that you've built. So if they want to buy something from you that they shouldn't be buying, don't sell it to them. And I know it takes a lot of restraint. I was talking to my friend Tyrone the other day. He is an amazing specialist when it comes to sales through LinkedIn, right? And we were gonna hop on the phone and literally just like chat for like 20 minutes. We were on the phone for 2.5 hours. He's brilliant and awesome, and it was really fun. We were both kind of picking each other's brains and learning from each other, right? And he said to me, about 1/3 of the people that come to him wanting to buy his course are actually the right people for his course. And he has the integrity and the honesty to say, don't buy this. If they are not the right person to buy this, he turns them away. And I know that early on in your entrepreneurial career, you may want to just say yes to anybody who wants to buy from you. And I get that. Trust me, friends, I understand that when you're early in your entrepreneurial career, you're just excited that someone's willing to purchase from you, right? But it is so, so, so important that you remember you are the CLOP, confident leader of process, okay? Which means that you are going to lead the discussion. So for example, let's say you're in the living room and your friends are just being too loud. For example, let's say your friend Gisela and Lewis just won't shut the fuck up during your live, right? You can confidently say to them, hey guys, would you be so kind as to shut the fuck up? And they do, guys. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Okay, so first, you want to be the confident leader of process. And I'll tell you real quick a kind of funny story. Actually, maybe it's not funny. I don't know. But I was on somebody's discovery call. I wanted this dude's services. Like, I was ready to say yes. I was ready to transfer this person money, okay? But when I got into this call, this person did not lead the conversation. I led the conversation. I am a confident speaker. I am a confident leader. I know what I want. I know how to get it. I know how to lead a conversation. But this person, we literally just hopped on Zoom and he said, hi, how are you? Good. How are you? Silent. Now, I know how to ask the right questions. I know how to pre-qualify and filter him to see if he's the right person to help me, right? But I was stunned that he didn't know how to say, like, you have multiple very clear persuasive goals, and one of them that if you're not doing this, you're missing out on like the crux of what you need to be able to persuade someone and to move someone to action. He didn't ask me what my greatest pain was. He didn't know what I was struggling with. How can you be on a discovery call with someone and not be exposing what their greatest pain is? You have one thing that if you do not do this, darling, that is why you're not closing big deals. You need to use this opportunity to talk with them to expose what is their deepest pain and what is their highest aspiration. If you can become a contrast master, if you can master the ability to contrast what they don't want with what they do want and build a compelling vision that makes them say, oh, I really want that. How do I get that? If you can't do that successfully, then you will get time and time again, people say, let me think about it. Let me ask my spouse. And trust me, friends, they don't circle back. Every once in a while, you have someone who says like, hey, I still want to work with you. But they're usually still time wasters, to be honest. Like, those are people who talk rather than do. And you could spend your time courting them and nurturing them and putting them in your funnels and your sequences or whatever. But a lot of the time, the person who is ripe, the fruit that falls from the tree that's ripe, you don't have to bend over backwards to convince that person, okay? But you do need to know, it's non-negotiable, you need to know what is their deepest pain and what is their highest aspiration, okay? And then I'm going to give you 2 magical lines. When you use these 2 lines, I've had clients close their first ever clients using these lines. But it's not just about script, friends. It's not just about script. It's about the state that underlies the script, okay? Because when someone's just giving you lines and scripts, and those are tactics. The problem is a lot of people come to me as clients because they've tried all of the programs, they've tried all the courses, and they're like, Paloma, it's still not working. That's because they haven't mastered their state. The reason that Johnny West, for example, is a master of sales calls, and honestly, I tell like anyone who's in this house, I say when he's on a sales call, shut the hell up and listen to him, eavesdrop. He's a master because he's mastered his state. That he's at a place where he realizes you would be so freaking lucky to have me. And when you realize that, you exude that, and you are not willing to say yes to anyone who does not meet your standards as an ideal client. And so use these lines, but more than use these lines, embody what these lines are about. Embody the leadership under these lines. What I want for you is blank, and what I would hate for you is blank, okay? So I teach people how to sell confidently, right? What I would hate for you, listener, darling listener, that I care about you, I want good outcomes for you. I love my fellow entrepreneurs. I want to see them all kick butt. Johnny's like that. Lewis is like that. Everyone in here is like that. We want to see each other kick butt, okay? What I want for you is that when you have a gift to share with the world, when you have something good that you want to give, what I want is that other people enthusiastically say, hell yeah, I want that. Where do I pay? How do I pay? That's what I want for you. Because when you are giving your gifts to your highest capacity, you are really like, that is the ultimate fulfillment. If you think that we're playing this game for money, yes, we all love money. We're entrepreneurs. We believe that money creates freedom and gives you access. But more than anything, fundamentally, what we want as humans on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our highest human need is the desire for self-actualization. What does that mean? The desire to become who we know we can become, the desire to fulfill our potential. So if you can help other people fulfill their potential, then I want you to be able to sell well. That's what I want for you. That when you say I have a gift, they say, yes, how do I get it? Here's what I do not want for you. What I do not want for you is that you bend over backwards to please people, that you name your prices. Let's say you say it's 5K. They say, oh, it's kind of expensive. This person charges less. I don't want you to negotiate against yourself. I don't want you to say, oh, maybe I can make you a deal, or start to justify your worth to them. I do not want that to happen. And so when you really embody core confidence, other people feel that. When you truly are the confident leader of process and you have the integrity to potentially say no to them, you know, it works on 2 levels. First of all, you don't want to spend your time with people who are not worth coaching. 1. 2, people want what they cannot have. Simple. And so there's a technique that I call a maybe no, which is the suggestion, I may say no to you. We want to reverse the direction of desire. So when someone is on the phone with you, you probably think, if you're early in the game and you're kind of anxious about your discovery calls, you probably think, I need to get this person. I hope they like me. I hope they trust me. I hope they don't ask me anything that I don't know the answer to. I would highly recommend, with love for you guys, eavesdrop on your own conversations with yourself that you're having during your discovery calls. Because when I'm listening to my clients' discovery calls, they, you know, I help them debrief. I help them, I explain to them where things went wrong, right? I say to them, I know at that exact moment that you said that, I know what you were thinking. You were more worried about the sale than anything. You were more worried about, will I get their money, than being perfectly honest. And so, but when you can really get to the point where you're like, I'm not afraid to lose you, you need to connect to the freaking abundance of this universe. You need to connect to that. We live on a planet. How many people, friends? Comment. How many people do we have on this planet? 7 billion plus? And you're spending your time courting people who don't see your value. A lot of the time, because you start off by you don't see your own value, right? Everyone is simply a mirror of you, right? And so it's kind of funny when you say something like, I'm really good at blank, you'll find later on other people saying, oh, you're really good at blank. It's not a coincidence. People are mirrors of you. And you know, it's funny, Donnie and I were talking, we had a pool at our first place that we stayed at, and we had this like whole long conversation about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. One important aspect of it is about mirroring and matching, right? We mirror the language of other people. So for example, if you're on a discovery call and someone says, it feels like I'm drowning. The metaphor that they have chosen is drowning. So you say, well, what if what we could do together would be like a life jacket, so you never again feel like you're drowning? They would say, yeah, I want that, because you're speaking their language. A lot of the time on discovery calls, you're speaking your own language and they don't understand. You are an expert, and as an expert, you have answers, but you don't always know what the questions are. And so you need to be in constant conversation with your prospects, constantly asking them, what is hard? What do you want? What do you need? What is painful? What do you want for yourself? What are your goals? What is your vision? What is your highest, most amazing potential life? What do you want? And when you understand what people want fundamentally, you can move them. I'd love to give you guys some clues here. All people want certain things. All people want freedom. All people want money. All people want access to opportunities. All people want credibility. All people want to be loved. All people want peace. All people want health. All people want joy, right? And so you need to start off from a place of understanding fundamentally what do people want. And then I invite you to use this script, okay? It's not about X, it's about Y. So I saw this kind of cool business. There was this BuzzFeed video about this business where men learn how to braid their daughter's hair, and it's a kind of bonding thing, like dads do hair. I don't know exactly what the business is called, right? And you'll notice in really good advertising, they are not selling the service in the most literal sense, right? They said it's not about the, let's say it's not about the braid, it's about connecting with your daughter, right? It's not about X, it's about Y. And in the it's about Y part, expose a fundamental human value. Expose something that your people want. What do they want most? Freedom, joy, pleasure, fun, peace. What do they want most? They want to just fulfill their potential. Understand what people want most, okay? And I'm gonna run through the rest pretty quick, but that was probably the most important one, is I see people not stepping up as the leader. And when you don't step up as the leader, you're actually giving, during your discovery call, guys, this is so important to know. In your discovery call, you're giving people a taste of what it's like to work with you. And so if you're not stepping up confidently and leading the process, then they say, oh, I can't see this person leading me. You know, one of my clients told me about why he chose to work with me. Because in our discovery call, he asked me something like, can I have a payment plan? Or he asked in a way that wasn't as effective as possible. I said, I know you're not paying me yet, but there's a more effective way that you can ask that question. And before he had given me his money, I said to him, now try asking it like this. And he told me it was in that moment that he realized that I was on his side. Even at the cost of my potential, my self-interest, I am fundamentally on my clients' side. I want good for them. Even if that means that, you know, we only need 6 weeks together as opposed to a year-long contract. I'll tell you, if you don't need longer, my goal is that eventually you fire me, that you graduate, that you fly on your own. That's my goal for you. Even though, of course, it would be in my self-interest to keep you on a payment plan for life, I want to give you exactly what you need, and then I want you to go fly, okay? So please step up as the confident leader of process. If you find it nerve-wracking, do some mock coaching. Do some mock coaching. You don't have to charge for it at the beginning, but learn your voice. Learn how it sounds when you're standing in your authority, okay? Because people trust confident leaders. And you know, the scary thing is I've read articles before where it says, you know, competence versus confidence. Unfortunately, in this world, confidence always outweighs competence. The best is please be good at what you do. I mean, that's entry into this game, like basic entry, you're good at what you do. But I work with a lot of people who are highly talented. They are engineers, they are incredible solopreneurs. I've worked with doctors before, people who have the highest level skill and talent and expertise, and yet this is something that some kind of cognitive dissonance here that really blew my mind. The fact that people who have such expertise were unable to stand behind what they do and not undersell themselves. It broke my heart. You know, the funny thing is, Johnny is such a good leader that he's the kind of person that it drives him nuts, like me, when people are underserving themselves and not fulfilling their potential. And so you need to step up as the confident leader of process. Don't be winging it. You should have some structure. You should have some bullet points. practice this. If you don't have a coach right now, one, freaking get a coach. And or if not, let's say it's completely out of the question, and I don't ever believe it is. At the end of the day, if you want something, you'll find a way to make it happen. There's can't pay and then there's won't pay. Most people are in the won't pay category. But if you're struggling to keep your lights on and you can't feed your children, then find someone that you can role play with, okay? Find someone and ask them to go hard on you. Ask them to throw up all the objections. I don't have time. I don't have money. At the end of the day, if you find people are price comparing you, if people are commodifying you, that means that there's a problem in branding. Because if you're the one, you're not going to get people negotiating with Tim Ferriss, right? Like he's the one. He's the one to go to if you want to like biohack or whatever it is, right? The one. So if you are not the one in your category, right? Like if you're not the Grant Cardone, if you're not the Gary Vee, then a lot of the time the resistance you're receiving has to do with a branding challenge. Our discovery call, that's the tip of the iceberg. But everything under the iceberg is you building your expertise, your visibility, your public influence to the point that you're reversing the direction of desire, that you are not approaching them, but you wake up in the morning and you open up your PM and people are saying, I want to work with you, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. And then you, because you're at that point in your career, you get to be selective and only give your gifts to the best possible people that you enjoy working with. Honestly, in my 21K month that it was really lovely I had recently, my 4 or 5Kers were people that I love. Like I love these people, and little do they know I would be their friend anyways. They're cool and they're fun. And so the pleasure of working with the people that you want to work with, it's worth it alone to learn how to sell well, because it gives you options. At the end of the day, you know what options are? Options are freedom. And confidence smells like options. So if you have a lot of options, then you can say no to people. And it's a pleasure at a certain point to be like, listen, doesn't fit my criteria. We're not a soup kitchen and we're not giving our stuff away for free. We understand our own value, and as a result, we price accordingly. So I'm going to go really quickly through the rest of this list. Oh, hey guys.
Hey guys. By the way, before Paloma continues, guys, I saw in your comments you love what she shared, and guys, living with this amazing strong woman, she blows my mind like 20 times a day at least.
Thank you.
And she over delivers at least 50 times a day. So if you like Paloma, I would love you guys to follow her. She has an amazing Facebook group, and honestly, just having this woman delivering like for free is absolutely a spectacle. So just go and follow Paloma. She's amazing.
Thank you, guys. That means so much, guys. If you want to come hang out with us in Sell Anything with Badass Confidence, I am committed to you, talented people, getting what you deserve, just like Johnny is. And you know the funny thing is, okay, I'm not like quite bald yet, but otherwise we're like in the Jew crew. And Johnny is my brother that like you ever meet someone for the first time and you're like, I've known this person for life. It's because we have the same ethics of like, yes, we give tough love because it drives us nuts to see talented people underserving themselves. And so Johnny is amazing. I love him too. And I'm happy to be talking with you guys. Let's go through these really quick. Make sure that you are pre-qualifying. By the way, if you don't have some kind of survey or some kind of chatbot, these guys are the chatbot kings. Go like beg them to build you one, right? Pay them a shitload and get them to do it for you. Because you could be pre-qualifying so that you don't talk to anyone that doesn't have the means to invest. And by the way, I'll just say really specifically about pre-qualifying. People are really scared to ask the money question, aka the can you pay question. Please don't be afraid to ask that question. It's totally okay to say, Hi guys. You know, when the internet cuts out, it's just a moment for us all to spend to appreciate the fact that we get to be together. You don't really appreciate it until it's gone. But I love you guys, and I'm so happy to be talking to you today. I just want to really quickly wrap up this point about pre-qualifying and the money question. Absolutely, I highly encourage you. Don't be scared to ask the question of can you invest? Because listen, in communication, anytime there's an elephant in the room, that's when misunderstandings happen. And that actually leads me to my next point. Don't freaking lie and say it's a free strategy call, no strings attached, when the truth is that you have an offer to give. There's absolutely no one's going to be surprised. We're all in business. We all have shit to sell, right? But you can absolutely say, on this call, I'm going to help you get exact, like crystal clear clarity on what you need to do moving forward. And if I believe that we are the right fit to work together, if we agree that we like each other, then I will make you an offer. Then I will offer you one of my select spots that I have every month, okay? That way, you're getting permission from them and kind of pre-framing, front-loading before you make the offer. Because I sometimes see clients do this, and I actually don't think that it's fair that they're doing this to their prospects, where they pretend it's a free coaching call only to lead to the now do you want to pay for this thing, and they're taken by surprise. They're saying, why are you asking me if I want your services when I thought that this is a free discovery call, right? Be very explicit about what your intentions are. People appreciate an unapologetic explanation of this is what my intention is. And that goes to a really big challenge that people have with selling. People think that selling is dirty. People think that receiving money is wrong. It is my pleasure to take your money because I know that you'd be so freaking lucky if I was coaching you, right? And when you understand that you are not taking away from them, the crazy thing is that this all leads to money beliefs. A lot of people believe that money is the be all end all biggest thing in the world that someone could give you. That's not true. If Johnny said, Paloma, I'll give you $5,000 or I'll give you 10 hours of my time, I would happily take his 10 hours of time because it's worth more to me than money. And so what we have to realize is when you're investing in coaching, you want the result to the point that you literally will be like, okay, I'll open my wallet, take whatever the fuck you want, and I will help you, right? That's what you need. But you need people who have such a painful problem that you name any amount and they say yes. And also, I know that you're the one, not an option. You're not a person to go to. You're the person to go to. At that point, Gary Vee can ask for any amount, right? Tim Ferriss can ask for any amount. Grant Cardone can ask for any amount. And it's absolutely reasonable. You become the one. And so don't expect other people to treat you like a monopoly if you don't treat yourself like it. A lot of people are really underselling themselves and then saying, why are people price comparing? Well, if you are focusing in your discovery calls so much on price, if you're making it all about price, then you're not actually acknowledging that the reason that they're there. They're there to solve a painful problem. So your price anxiety becomes their price anxiety. So please be careful don't dwell there. Say your prices, move on, okay? Next, one thing that I see often is a lack of conviction. How can other people say yes to you if you don't say yes to yourself? How can other people say yes to you without a doubt when you're doubting yourself? The interesting thing is people are so perceptive. People are making a million calculations about you every minute. People are looking at your body language. They're looking at the tone of voice. That's why when I'm asking people, when I'm helping people with their discovery calls, I do this practice with them where I give them 3 random words, okay? And I say, don't worry about what you're saying right now. Worry about the tone of voice. A lot of the time they're saying stuff that sounds like a question, right? When it should be a period. There needs to be a period at the end of your sentence. So practice. Throw yourself 3 random words. Cat, dog, taco. Can you be persuasive with these 3 words? It's your tone of voice. It's the way that you embody, that you use space. It's the way that you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, other people believe in you, and that is not a coincidence. If you want a good resource on that, on conviction, self-image, believing in yourself, read what Dan Kennedy's favorite book is, Psycho-Cybernetics. I know it sounds like a big chunky title. Read it. It's worthwhile. It's easily digestible, and it is quite profound in terms of our understandings of how people perceive us, how we perceive ourselves. Next, number 7 mistake I see on discovery calls. Please stop negotiating against yourself. Say your price, stand behind it. Absolutely, you can have upsells and downsells. So for example, if something is 5K sounds like a lot for them, you can have like a 1K course, right? And a lot of the time people make their decisions of what's expensive and what's cheap in comparison. But that does not mean, that is different than saying, oh, that's expensive for you. Well, maybe I could cut you a deal. What is the logic behind that? It really just shows you don't stand behind yourself and behind your own prices. You know, they might not be able to invest with you now, but they might circle back. They need to get off the call with you and be like, damn, this person means business. They know their worth, they know their value. And I've had people who are like, Paloma, I want to work with you. I don't have $5,000 right now, but I will circle back. And they have. They need to just respect you, that you respect yourself as well. Number 8, that as soon as someone gives an objection, you roll over and die, okay? As soon as someone says, it sounds expensive, you just like give up, right? Now, this is not to say if there's mega resistance and you can tell that they're not going to go for it no matter what, save your time and save their time. But one thing with objection handling that you have to know is there is I can't pay, and then there's I won't pay. And there's also that you're confronting their fear. In the discovery call, one thing you're helping them massage is their fears. Investing in yourself is scary for many reasons, as we enumerated earlier, but one of those reasons that it's scary is because it's putting a vote in your own favor. It's saying I believe in myself, right? I mean, trust me, friends, I'll tell you from my perspective, like when I started out in this entrepreneur game, I've been working for myself since I was 19, so about 7 years, right? Early on, the idea of spending money on my business, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why would I spend money on this? And that's an amateur kind of way of looking at it, where I would happily go out for sushi with my friends, drop $25 for like a meal, whatever. But when it came to spending money for my own growth, I didn't. And, you know, one thing I've realized by hanging around millionaires and soon to be millionaires is they will throw money at problems. They will throw money to learn. A lot of the time, as opposed to saying, I want a course, they want to go direct to the source and say, I don't care how much it costs. Teach me what you know. Because listen, friends, I mean, the reason that we are able to, Johnny and I are able to get our clients, accelerate them, that they can go even faster than we were able to go, is because we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn the bang your head against the wall, crying at night, should I kill myself tonight way, okay? And the amazing thing about having a coach or mentor is they say, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. Kind of like you're walking through a dark forest, but instead of you having to trip and fall and scrape your knee and get your foot eaten by a piranha, instead you have a guide in front of you holding your hand and bringing you through the forest saying, don't step on that, swim here, careful about this, right? And so please don't negotiate against yourself. Number 9 is neediness. Neediness is not sexy. The first thing you want to do is rid yourself of neediness, rid yourself of desperation, which means that you cannot attach your self-worth to the outcomes of your call. At the end of the day, it's not about you. If you have said yes to yourself, that's enough. If someone says no to working with me, they've said no to themselves. I already know the shit. I benefit massively. It helps my life. It's the reason that I have the opportunities I have. It's the reason that I'm hanging out with people that I deeply respect and love. It's the reason that I have clients that I care about. It's the reason that my private message is flooded with people saying, I want to work with you, okay? So you're not saying no to me, you're saying no to yourself. And help them. They might need a little bit of coaching. They may need a little bit of coaching, okay? But overall, you're not giving them a coaching session. Don't forget that. Like sometimes I hear people on the discovery calls launch right into coaching, but people don't value what they don't pay for, okay? So don't give them all the goods. Help them get clarity. Say, this is what you need, but I'm not going to jump in and start giving you the goods, you know, until you've said yes. I had someone recently say to me, Paloma, I really want your help with like writing my email sequences. And I quoted him what it would be. And he wanted a couple tips. And I said, honestly, darling, it would be underserving you if I just half-ass it. Like Johnny, I'm a crazy ADD Jew, and we don't half-ass things. We're either 100% in or we're 0. So I'm not gonna like, don't private message me and say, hey, can I pick your brain? No, you cannot pick my brain. You can join my group, Sell Anything with Badass Confidence, participate, chill, drop a lot of love on all of my Facebook lives. Thank you so much. Or you can realize that the ability to have someone in your corner who knows their shit and has learned it the hard way, who's actually proven themselves, is worth having, and then put your money where your mouth is, right? And I would be happy to be in your corner. So don't half-ass it for your people, and don't coach on your discovery calls. They haven't said yes to you yet, right? Help them get clarity, but that's different than coaching them. Finally, last two. One, do not focus on the process, focus on the result. If they ask about process, absolutely feel free to explain. But more than anything, they don't want to know that for your nutrition program, they're going to have to buy this food. They don't care. They're like, will I look good in a bikini? They're like, will I have abs like Andrew Krasozi, Ozzy, right? That's what they want. You need to paint a compelling vision that they say, oh my God, I want that. Trust me, they will ask you, how do I get that? And you say, I'm glad you asked. I have some shit to sell you. I have some stuff to help you with, right? If you're not using stories in your discovery call process, then you are missing out on a persuasive opportunity. So one client that I was working with, I was helping her with, she makes websites, right? And I told her, tell me a nightmare of someone's horrible website. She was like, well, I was at this networking meeting. I talked to this dude who seemed like this big hotshot. I go look him up, and his website looks like it was made by a 14-year-old on Weebly. It looks like crap. She said, right at that moment, his credibility was lost, and I decided not to work with him. That is a horror story that can really move someone to action where you're like, crap, I know that I'm an expert, but I don't want my online presence to undersell myself. I don't want to lose credibility in other people's eyes because of my visuals. Maybe I need this person, right? So contrast the story of what they don't want to be and what they do want to be, okay, friends? Last thing that I'll say, more than anything, your goal is to reverse the direction of desire. If you are going to them, it's not as powerful as if they're coming to you. And so a lot of people are playing this short game. A lot of people are trying to like, you know, and I do feel like there's this kind of like bro-y, like Grant Cardone kind of people that are cropping up who are like, close the deal, make the sale, push, 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 push. The problem is, one, return rates are higher. Two, you haven't built the trust in advance. And so the satisfaction, you know, goes down. I remember my mom, who's an amazing marketing coach, was like, Paloma, a 2-step yes is better than a 1-step yes, right? So if they've said yes to something smaller and then yes, something bigger, then they know you, they know your style, they trust you. You want to filter out the people who like, listen, we're not everything for everyone. Like everyone has a different style of communicating. And some people are like, hey, I don't like the fact that you swear. I don't like the fact this tough love thing. Give it to me softer, right? It's better to filter those people out early, reverse the direction of desire. So friends, with that said, I love you all. What a pleasure to talk to Johnny's amazing audience. If you liked this, let me know, and perhaps we'll hop on again soon. Otherwise, I love you. Bye. See you in Sell Anything with Badass Confidence. And
hey guys, again, cannot express enough how much I love this woman. She's amazing. Go follow her. You heard what she was dropping here, and that was just, you know, the tip. Just the
tip. That's and Johnny's motto, guys. Just the tip.
Paloma told me today when we wanted to do this, Paloma said, is that okay if I over deliver? Absolutely. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, drop a like, drop a heart, let her know, guys. And we will keep Paloma in the group coming and over delivering. And hopefully enjoy this week.
Bye, guys.